Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fire Up Connect. This is our Thursday meetings that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. And normally we would have a meeting about an hour to an hour and a half, and it just depends on the discussions of everyone. And the way it works is that we start with a great Q&A where we don't have to spill our commercial. People are going to ask you a question, and you have a minute and a half to provide the answer however you wanted to answer it. And then after that, the second part is we give you an update, or sometimes we have a speaker that talks about a lot of different topics. But this time we're not going to have a speaker. We're going to have a good different way of learning from each other. And then the third part is we're going to have a chance to share our success story or challenges or any type of specific goals that you wanted to share to the group. And then the last part, we're going to do some brainstorming and creative ideas on how we can all collaborate. Does that sound good? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Scott. Scott, who do you want to ask a question to?
Good morning, everyone. Let's see, we'll start out with Jennifer. What kind of business do you have, Jennifer?
I have a real estate license school that is virtual, and it provides both pre-license education as well as continuing education. And I'm currently offering in California and Florida, and I also do content development for all 50 states.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. So Jennifer, your turn. Who do you want to ask a question?
How about John?
Yes.
John, could you tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you are looking to grow?
Sure. So George and I are the co-founders of Virtual Badge. It's a digital identity and data intelligence platform. We're a software as a service company. So we're part of Mary's group to meet new potential clients. We're trying to raise investment funds right now and just to network.
Okay, John, your turn. Who do you want to ask? It's like you have me or George.
Looks like I'm gonna have to ask either you or
George.
Scott. No one's asked Scott yet, right? No, you were the first person.
Yeah, Scott too. Actually, I'm sorry. Scott and George.
Okay. Let me think here. What is your ideal client for your business, Scott? Scott, what is the ideal client for your business?
Ideal client, somebody who's coachable. So basically, yeah, picture of health, right? People that are willing to discover new areas of life for themselves through treating food as medicine, who are willing to not be a AMA drone and listen to what the AMA doctors say is really that it really is the truth, and are willing to reach out to discover about what food can make available for themselves and their family if it's prepared and cooked correctly.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now, I know so again, Scott, you're going to have to ask George because he's the one that's left here.
No problem. So George,
ask away.
You have a cool name. How do you say it again?
First or last?
Last name.
Duplessis.
Cool name. So what do you do?
I'm with, like John said, we're one of the co-founders of Virtual Badge, data intelligence, access control, and workforce management. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, George, you can ask me a question. I'm the last one for you.
Sure. Can you tell me more about what you do?
Okay, so I am the founder and CEO of Finest Women in Real Estate, and it's a marketing program for promoting real estate professionals. And FireUpConnect is one of the spin-off companies that we created to gather a lot of the business professionals that can also support the real estate professionals. But it turned out to be the FireUpConnect is now in an independent business networking group where we were able to do a lot of project collaboration. and try to learn each other's business. I have a lot of projects. I do TV productions, and I also do magazine publications. So there's a lot more that I do. I work with a lot of real estate development projects, as work with investors. So that's what I do. All right. So now let me move to our next part of our meeting. Did you guys feel good about that format where you're getting asked question? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So then this next part of our meeting, I wanted to just kind of give you an idea of why you guys are here. Well, one, John Simon is actually has a company called Virtual Badge. And the virtual badge is really something that would be perfect for hospitals, for medical institution, for construction companies, because it's an app that a company can apply into their business, where they can track people's time. They can also make the employees comply on any kind of COVID requirements and other things that they need to make sure that the employee is in compliance before they can enter into the facility. And then Jennifer here is the owner of Realty School 101, and she actually educates a lot of the real estate professionals, and that's where she's also have massive programs for educating professionals, not only on real estate courses, also personal development. And then Scott and Melissa Curry, they have a company that actually educates people on health and diet and all kinds of ways of organizing the kitchen. Am I right, Scott? Did I say that correctly?
We also offer cooking equipment that allows you to cook with no water in a vacuum on low temperatures, so it maintains an industry standard 93% nutrition, as opposed to destroying 50 to 80% in conventional cooking methods.
Okay. So George, you are like someone that this is the first time I've met you. So we're gonna try and learn more about your business. So if you guys have any specific question on George's business, go ahead and we can take this time. Who has a question for George?
Well, let's see. So she was saying that it's a yeah. What's your perfect client? It's a virtual badge, meaning that
No. George is not a virtual badge. This is George. What type of business do you have again? What's the name of?
John was doing.
John and I are the same company.
George is my partner.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize. Okay, so George, yeah. Okay, so finally I met you. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're both in the. So how did you guys meet? I guess that's going to be my question, Scott. Sorry,
That's okay.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
So when I'm trying to think of how to describe this. So when we first started our company, I was looking for a software developer to help me. And I literally Googled West Palm Beach Ruby on Rails developer, and his website had the top SEO hit. He was still in high school at that point, and I sent him a message, and we met at the Boca Mall, and I'm pretty sure that you've been working with me ever since, and it's been about 10 years.
Close to that, yeah.
Okay, Scott, go ahead and ask your question.
So virtual badge. So somebody, let's say for instance, that a company designates that you can't work in a building unless you have your vaccination. And so the badge won't let you enter unless it shows that you've been inoculated.
That's a possibility, yes. You can put that as a credential in virtual badge. So when you go into the building, they'll just see that your badge has never been approved because you don't have the vaccination.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the Breeders' Cup last year, the big horse racing event, and they used virtual badge as a way basically to expedite their screening process, because the way our app works is you have to upload whatever attributes that the badging authority wants before they let you in. And so for the Breeders' Cup, it was uploading a negative COVID test and signing a COVID waiver form. But like Mary was saying, for healthcare, it could be uploading your TB test and your CPR training to make sure that you can drive the ambulance. Or in construction, it's making sure that you have an OSHA 30 card and that you've done your scaffolding training before they let you get on the rising scaffolding equipment. And so we end up being essentially a compliance and a risk management tool, because the issuance of the badge and whether or not the badge is currently active is how our clients determine whether or not you're capable of being in my contractor program, stepping foot in my job site, or being a part of my event.
Okay.
Okay, Jennifer, you have any questions for John and George?
Who would you like to connect more with as far as industry professionals, or that would be helpful for you?
So anyone like a construction superintendent or HR manager, that would be the type of people we'd be looking for, because they would have the greatest impact in terms of wanting to not only badge the people, but also keeping compliance at their job sites or work in general.
And we've also gotten into the hybrid work environment through COVID, where like half the people come into the office and the other half are still at home. They like having the badges because you don't have to actually show up in person to get one of our badges. So in a sense, like they can still manage those types of programs. They can know who's gone into the office and whatnot. And it's all done remotely.
Okay. Now we're gonna move to Jennifer. Jennifer, you'll be on the spot now. So you guys have any questions for Jennifer?
Okay, can I go?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so with your school for real estate, are you using like a software to keep track? Like, so if I go through your school, how do I prove that I'm qualified if I'm going to show that to some person that I'm selling the home to?
I'm not. If my answer isn't exactly what you asked, then let me know. But we have a learning management system that is supported by the nation's largest provider of real estate education in all 50 states, and we collaborate and I provide the training and the instruction side and the fulfillment, and they provide more of the tools. So that has already been pre-cleared through all 50 states government systems. And then on top of that, they keep it up to date, where I contribute to the new content development. And then I also get a separate approval as a permit holder for each of the states that I offer. And then I even put a button on my website so that students can verify my permit status for the school at any point in time. And then their certificates are, it's like your admission ticket to taking your state license exam. So once you get that after passing our final exams, then you submit that. If it's in California, you submit it with your license application, and they verify it, and you're good to go. And then in Florida, it's you bring it with you to the testing center. So every state's a little bit different. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's really cool. I wish that George and I could put together a turnkey program that was that good. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other question? George, Scott, you have any question for Jennifer?
I don't. I sold real estate back in the 80s, so I
Who's your ideal client, Jennifer? Like, who are you looking to bring into your program?
Pretty much anyone and everyone. I think that the knowledge, the fundamental knowledge, is so valuable to, and real estate touches everybody's lives in one way or another. It's like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs of food, water, shelter. So just having that fundamental knowledge, even I have so many people that go through that they enjoyed it and they learned a lot, and then they go into other elements of investment and they realize that maybe they, for what they want to do, they don't necessarily need to achieve the professional license status, that they just wanted to know how certain things work so they could have that background. And the program is so affordable. I think that from especially with the times we're in right now, it's quite shocking that our market hasn't significantly increased our tuition costs. It's just a few $100s, depending on which state you're in. So for just a few $100, compare that to the typical college education and the debt load that most people take on, and it's and you get all the most important things you need to know, and you can do it at your own pace online. And then you also have the opportunity to finish that into a professional license, which gives you access to data and to the actual properties. So it's a very high trust licensing. So that's the other component too, where you compare other professional licensing for trade schools. Of course, cutting somebody's hair, there's a certain element of trust there. But when it comes to accessing people's homes and making sure the doors are locked when you leave, and things like that, it's very convenient. So if you're just looking to invest in property, writing the offer is the hardest part. A lot of people could sell on their own if they really wanted to, and they had the right resources. It is possible, and everybody sort of knows that. Are they going to get the best price? Statistics say no, that using a skilled professional, and that has more tools and resources, it's definitely going to get you a higher price. But as an investor, even if you're just looking to buy one home for yourself for the next 30 years, it could still seriously help you, just having closing a lot of gaps on that knowledge that most people just don't have. So the value is huge for the program itself, and it doesn't take long either. So compare that to a typical another trade school or a traditional college program. The time and the cost is very long and very huge. And for Realty School 101, we're just it's quick in and out, and it's very, very affordable.
Jennifer, it looks like John has a question where he would like to know how to sign up on your website.
Scott's Dream Life Wellness.
Oh, what's that again?
Oh, he just said he was offering a 30-minute coaching.
Oh, you were talking about
yeah,
Scott.
my wife and I would be interested in signing up. But I do have another question for you, Jennifer, actually. Since you're in the market, how much longer is our real estate market going to keep inflating with the low interest rates, or is it going to crash?
I don't anticipate there being any major crashes, and the reason I say that is because if you want to compare the nature of the crash from 10 years ago, the economic tsunami we had with all the predatory loan writing and overly zealous investments that were occurring. So it was twofold. They were definitely trying to find blame on one side or the other. Usually the banks and the industry side of things gets more of that slapping of the wrist and new regulations. So that really put I think that slowed us down. And I think the pandemic is now speeding us up finally, because you have so many different people that are thinking in a different way than they ever have before. And they're thinking, hey, if this is how things are, and it's how they will remain for an indefinite period of time, where is it that I truly want to live, with all things considered? And then they're also thinking, there's many shifts occurring, as you know. I don't think I need to go in too much detail about that, but the virtualness of everything, and if you do have that ability, how about look at, say, a couple who is in Silicon Valley, and they're sharing like a studio or one bedroom, and now they're both working at home, and can work anywhere. They're talking over each other. Okay, now this.
Oh, we lost her.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's okay. She's gonna try and come back. Hey Scott, you're back too. We lost her connection, but we can go ahead and while we're waiting for her, we'll just come back with her, and we'll go to Scott this time. And it looks like John, you were trying to sign up on Scott's website, right?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I would be interested in what you're offering. What do I do to sign up for that?
Oh, you're
Hey,
on
Scott,
mute.
you're on mute.
What you're going to do is you're going to go, what I put information over in the chat box there. Go to wellnessexperience.com, wellnesscookingexperience.com, and or just give me a call.
Okay.
Or you can, give me your phone and I'll call you, whatever you'd like.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Jennifer, sorry that we got you disconnected. So you want to continue what you were saying?
Yes, thank you. So the activity, and that's what real estate thrives on, is the activity level. And before, everyone's going to reference the fear that they had from 10 years ago when everything was scary, boarded up for a really long time. Nothing was really happening. We had no choice but to put the interest rates at rock bottom, but it's for a different reason. And that was a different time period. We're in a very new paradigm shift where we've already in a rapid succession have evolved in terms of a lot of things. And I think that the activity is really what is to be focused on the most if you want to know how things are going. There's a lot of people that are deciding this studio 1-bedroom is too small for 2 people, that we're both talking over each other. So let's look for a new place. Or various reasons, divorce and financial and death and new life. And, these are all the core reasons why people transition. And then you add, a change in the whole global, reality of how we do work. On top of that, you're adding a whole nother reason, and that's a huge reason. So you're going to have more people that are deciding that either this dwelling that I'm living in or this environment that I'm in is no longer suitable for me, given the shifts that have occurred. So yes, the activity is going to stay booming for a long time,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, so we have Scott now. Jennifer, you have any question for Scott's business?
Scott, okay. Dream Life.
Yes.
So I always love to hear the story of how your concept, the idea was created.
Okay. My wife started teaching healthy cooking about 28 years ago. And then we met in San Diego in 2003. And I was a stockbroker. I just left being a stockbroker. And my family was always into health. My mom's a clinical nutritionist and my sister's an acupuncturist. And so it's been a conversation for 40 years in my family. And so when I left being a stockbroker, I looked at what would suit my desires and goals in life much better. So we formed our business. And somebody asked earlier, our ideal client is basically families between the age of 30 and 60 that have children that have to cook, and today that are rushed, having to teach their kids, work, do everything else from home, as you're mentioning, and are choosing bad options because they don't know how to take care of their family in a way that's efficient and where the food still tastes good and it's healthy, and they choose something called fast food, which is not really food, which should be banned. And unless you have a hospital, then it's a good thing because it definitely feeds you clients all the time. So living life today, and my mom is pretty right on when she says, production lines are great for cars, terrible for food. So if you really understand the body and understand what food allows for you, you would never eat fast food and you wouldn't buy processed food at the store. So we show you how we're able to actually go through your pantry with you, clean out all the nasty, good tasting stuff, and learn to buy food that's good for you, prepare it in a way that allows the natural nutrition to stay alive, and to be able to, as we have with many customers, lose up to 100 pounds, go off of high blood pressure medication, go off of lupus medication, many different kinds of things. And I can't actually say that what I do cures anything because, whoa, that's bad. So, if you want to have a great, healthy, long life, then you learn to take care of yourself through proper food and you stop eating things like ramen.
Okay.
Yeah, I am 100% a fan of what you're doing, and I completely agree with everything you said.
All right. George, you have any questions?
I do not know.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So I thought that was a really good section of our meeting because I learned more about your business just by the questions that were asked. So we're gonna move on to the next one, which is what we call business share time, and this is a time where you can share a success story or a challenge that you're dealing with or a specific goal. So I'm gonna start with George since we didn't get to hear it from you. So go ahead, George.
Sure. Success is that we're doing a lot better than we were in 2019. So 2020 was actually not a bad year for us. So yeah, that's the one. What was the second part of that question?
If you, I mean, it's up to what you wanted to share. A success story, a challenge that you're dealing with, or a specific goal.
A challenge would definitely be finding a correct investment opportunity, like somebody who's the right partner to come in and help us grow to where we want to be.
Okay. And all right, so let's move on to John.
I mean, not to just say the same stuff that George said. I think that, okay, here's a challenge that we're trying to do. George and I are trying to 3x our revenue this year. And so making the plan to 3x our revenue in terms of what the number of contracts we need to get and how to actually get that is a challenge.
Okay. All right. Scott, let's move on to you.
What's the question?
This is where you wanted to share a success story, a challenge, or a specific goal.
You want to answer that?
Go ahead. I said my high school friend says
Come here. Don't you?
No, I'm
She's from Kansas, out in the middle of nowhere, and she reconnected with a lady who she grew up with, who was a nurse, traveling nurse,
watching my weight.
and she was watching. I went from 205, and I'm just a little over 4'7", so I weighed 205, and I'm 180. My wife went from how much? 156 to 130.
Wow.
And so her was watching this, and we've learned how to maintain it. We teach that as well. So her friend was watching her on Facebook at Shrink. She said, how'd you do that? I want to do that. So we've been working with her, and she's been cooking like we teach, teaching her family. And how much has she gone down?
She went down a nursing outfit size.
Okay, the outfits that nurses wear, the smock scrubs. Went down one full size, and she's been doing this for a month.
Wow.
And
hey, we're in Kansas.
And she's learned how to maintain, instead of eating crap on the road.
I'm working with her.
We're working with her to reinvent that, so she travels with equipment that she got from us, and then we zoom in with her face to face and actually coach her on the cooking while she's doing it in her kitchen, and give her the support so she stays with it and understands what's happening. It's actually very simple, but you have to do it, right? So There
Okay.
you go.
All right. Awesome. Jennifer, you're next.
Okay, so I would say this might be at the intersection of all of the things that you'd like us to discuss, maybe. You know, one of the challenges I've always had is, you know, probably working too much always. You know, for the last 10, 15 years, just always feeling like there's not enough time in the day, or I'm always running out of time, and then trying to get realistic about how my ideas can actually scale in reality based on the bandwidth that I have at any given time, both financially and time wise, and of course whatever talent that's available to me to help build things. And so on a vacation, and I would do nothing but think about work, or I would work the whole time, and I just couldn't really separate myself. And so an accomplishment that I've had for the first time in my life is, just about a month ago, I went to Aruba with a professional networking group. And incidentally, a lot of them wanted to talk about work and things like that. They're all very high achieving individuals, and a lot of them are involved in real estate as well. And for the first time, I was just able to really disconnect from work being putting so much pressure on myself, and just enjoy being in one of the happiest, most beautiful places on earth. And it was just, I would say that was a huge accomplishment for sure.
Wow, that's amazing. All right. Okay, so hearing some of you having some challenges, I'm gonna go move to a gallery now. Okay, so we heard some challenges from John, and we've got some stories. Now, I wanted to take this time to where how can we help each other, knowing that we're all in different industries. So, so Jennifer is in real estate education, and we've got Scott and Melissa doing health and wellness education, and John and George are trying to really establish their business virtual badge. And I know that you guys are looking for investors. I was actually hoping that I would have the people that I wanted to connect to you today, but they didn't show up. But I have few people that I actually wanted to connect with you, introduce to you, because they have they have a business that's very, very compatible to your business that could create such expansion on your network. So I'm gonna try and schedule that in a different meeting. But with Jennifer, I partner with Jennifer in terms of her real estate education, because she has such a tremendous knowledge, and of course the courses are unbelievable. And so what we wanted to figure out is how you guys can benefit from each other. Okay, because even though you guys are from different industry, there's definitely a way to cross pollinate your business, and this is where we need to figure out what that is. So I'm going to open a discussion right now and get some of your ideas on how we can make that happen. So who wants to start?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So with the nutrition aspect, I would certainly be open to helping with exposure to your program if we could create some type of short manuscript specifically speaking to the lifestyle of the traditional real estate agent, which is very much on the go, very much a lot of them are changing their mindset about their entire lifestyle as they're assisting other people with the same thing. And a lot of them come out of 9-to-5 job structures where they're forced to sit in front of a computer and stay in one place. Stagnation occurs, a lot of suppressing of emotions. So there's when they become a real estate agent, especially if they start generating business right away, they start realizing a much different lifestyle for themselves, and a lot of things open up. So helping them at that point of transition to guide them more efficiently and effectively so that they can do more business faster. I think there's definitely a potential intersection there where we could create some kind of piece of content that could be distributed through some of my platforms if you're interested.
Sounds good to me. My wife is the techie one, so she's the George and the John.
Okay.
I'm
Maybe
hot.
yeah, you both can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I can also give you my email address if you'd like.
Sure. Can you when you're in your car, can you?
I can connect you to Jennifer, Scott. I'll go
Okay,
ahead and make
perfect.
sure you
Thank
guys
you.
get the connection. Okay, any other ideas? This is where we become very, very creative. Go ahead, John.
So for Scott, have you tried going after the entrepreneur community with your product and your coaching? Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like my health has suffered a lot in the last 2 years just due to working 24/7 and not taking care of myself, being candid. And I feel like my situation is sort of similar to a family with children in that like finding time to like cook meals. I mean, I love cooking. I almost went to culinary school, but I don't got the time anymore for that anymore. So have you ever tried going after the entrepreneur crowd, like young people that are like Silicon Valley type people that, you know, I want to say are purely focused on work and they're not focused on nutrition?
Yeah, yes and no. Again, as I first said, that everything begins with being coachable, and in the normal frame of things, there's several levels of coachability. One, I'm not coachable. Two, I'm coachable if I like what you say. Three, I'm coachable. Or four, I empower the coach to win. Right? Get it? So most people are, I'll do something if I like what you say. Right? I mean, that's pretty standard. So it depends on what people are willing to listen to and that they are willing to listen. So our ideal customer is, it's basically, it would be a family. We're speaking to the wife with children. However, as long as someone's coachable, is willing to take the coaching and do it, then it theoretically could be anyone who would like to learn what we're doing.
I think that's a great idea, John. But here's what I have in mind. Because you have an app, okay? And the fact that you need more exposure on your target market. What's the possibility of incorporating some of the information that Scott and Jennifer, have in regards to showcasing them in your app? Is that a possibility at all?
So for the real estate, it could be a possibility, I think.
Okay.
But I'm just not really sure. So there's two things that I've thought of from the real estate market. The first would just be representing your credentials to other people. I don't know how much of a use case there would be for that, where I need to show somebody that I'm a valid realtor or that I've got my licenses and certifications. The other use case that I thought of, which may be more applicable, would be for COVID, where if you're a realtor and you want to show the house to me, you should have to vet potentially in certain states. I want to say probably more in like California or New York, where maybe you could have me sign a waiver form or something that, you know, I'm saying that I'm not sick, or I just don't know what the value of that would be for the real estate industry. And for Dream Life, I don't know. I've been trying to think about how we could work together, to be honest, and I'm not really sure. Because
Okay.
our client is like field workers.
Yeah. Well, here's what I can tell you, because some of the medical fields, they have to take COVID testing all the time in order for them to work for some of the facilities. Okay. So Jennifer, I mean, in terms of real estate agents and the people um, that they're assisting or taking care of clients, how does that work with, with your school? I think that could be an educational to where they they create a good process of taking care of their clients and also showing the homes through John's app.
I need to see more of what the app is capable of to properly answer this, but I can tell you that the problem, one of the longest lasting problems that we've had is safety reasons, mostly to the realtors themselves from, people just, just not so well-intended people can sometimes be a safety risk for an agent. And from that standpoint, um, there is an overall lack of systems that are available to support that. And, you have a lot of random people coming in to your open homes. You have a lot of, you're trying to generate leads. So you have to pick up your phone and you want to be prompt about trying to meet someone if they should be qualified. So from qualifying them and then going to the level of, of course, the COVID situation, that's also nice too. So, I think there is some validity there for real estate if I could just learn more about the capabilities and features of your program or your app.
What you're saying is interesting though, because part of our business is connecting through background screening and drug testing companies. And through those partners, they can run the type of credit checks that I believe the realtor would want to run on like me, like a credit check, a background check to make sure I'm not like a felon, to like
Yeah,
pre-vet me for my ability to even come to the open house. I just don't know if that's something that would be like really
I
valuable.
think that's really good because I've talked about a dangerous situation for real estate agents on doing open houses. And from some of the stories that I gathered from the agents, some of the people have, some of the agents died from meeting a client at the house. That we had so many instances, and there were some predators that also they had to deal with. There was an agent that got raped, so there's so many things that we could use that to make sure that we put it as part of the process when you're when you're showing homes. I think, Jennifer, that's something that could be created in your course, and then kind of put a system in place for the agents to follow. Because I can tell you, I
yeah,
had an agent that was at the open house and she was almost kidnapped by two guys because there was a van
yeah,
that was that was trying to get her. And all of a sudden, it's good that, and she was praying, at that time, because she didn't know what to do. She called her husband or her boyfriend, and no one was answering the phone. So she was stuck in the house. So how do you prevent those things if you don't create a very good system to avoid those situations? And I think, John, with your system, that would actually be a good something that can be put in place with Jennifer's education on real estate. And then one thing about Scott's business, here's one thing I can think of, John, because you do have app that would access so many people. What if you just give like a free, like a free short information, a short information of how to make their health, better. I mean, it's just like maybe one line that just, triggers a little bit of interest from the people that have the app already. And that would open up, the idea of, hey, if you're interested in making your health better, here's one click. I mean, and again, your app is still a marketing app regardless how you look at it. That is another revenue of income that you can create with your app. Aside from being so, I know we're doing compliance and everything and making sure people are doing that, but you know what, it's an app where people are looking at it, and you can provide any kind of links that can help their life in so many different ways. And you got to think that, being diverse, being what do you call that, look at my backdrop. How many business do you see in here? And I'm in the real estate industry, but I'm doing so many different things. That's all the income coming in, and you got to be diverse about the business. It's always about marketing. So think about that, John. You have an information that is right on their phone, and you are now going to be a huge resource for different types of business, like Scott, even on the health and wellness and real estate. That is something that you guys need to open up and create more income. And that's where when an investor looks at your product and they say, my gosh, you're tapping into different industries, different networks. That's how I became famous in the fashion industry. That's how I am in the medical industry. That's how I'm in real estate industry, because I tried to get into different things. Okay. Do you know that I have a lot of doctors right now that are coming to me for branding? That's why John, I was hoping that they're going to come in today, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But I'm going to try and schedule you guys for those medical, professionals. And Scott, definitely, I will connect you to those medical professionals, because they are looking into the health and wellness of those patients. And diet is not something that they do. They talk about the mindset and the health within the way they think about themselves, but not about their food. So that will be a good combination for you. Okay, so I'm gonna try and connect you guys. So what I wanted to see happen in this meeting, go ahead, John.
I would be interested in connecting with Jennifer and Scott. Like, if let me just give you my email address. If you guys could email me, or
Yes,
we could set up a call.
I will make
afterwards.
sure I connect you by text, by email. I'll make sure that you guys are connected. George, any feedback at all?
No, I'm agreeing with what John is saying, and I really like the idea about real estate. I'm trying to figure out more about what you're saying with Scott's dream life. I'm trying to figure out where that would fit in Virtual Badge. It's just not popping up in my head just yet, but I'm sure it will.
I
But
would
we
say
could talk about that for sure.
yeah, it could be like just a little one link. It's short word. Hey, you know, like to learn more about this, or a pop-up window or whatever that, that would trigger a little bit of an interest on people. Or there's like a picture that would just show health or something with cooking. Again, people are, once they're looking at the phone, anything goes. You just have to really utilize the interests of different people. I mean, people are interested in so many different things, and you just have to find the people that are really interested in it, and then figure out how you guys can make, it could be a revenue sharing for all of you. So just figure out a structure for that. That's where everybody wins. Be very clever about how you can incorporate other people's business, and how you can make your business successful at the same time. Okay. Now we're 8:54, and I thank you, everyone, for being a part of this meeting. And I know that you guys are very busy. I just want to get a last feedback from everybody on how you felt about this meeting, and just give me your feedback. Okay. I'll start with John.
I like going to these meetings. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I hate going to networking meetings, but I like yours.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. All right, Scott.
Yeah, your meetings are definitely more personal, and we get a chance to really connect instead of trying to connect with 50 people and you get 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. And Jennifer? Jennifer, can you hear us?
Oh, yes. Please forgive me.
I know you're driving. I hope you're okay. Just make sure you're safe.
I am. Yeah, I have an investment.
Looks like you're in Florida.
What's that?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Well, I just see palm trees. George and I are in South Florida.
I'm actually driving up to this property that I'm about to buy, and we have the home inspection happening today.
Okay, so I just wanted to see if you can give us a feedback on how you felt about this meeting. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really great. Do we like the townhouse?
Oh my God.
Yeah, where is that? What city?
It's in hang on a second. My speaker function went off. Could you see it from my video?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. It's in Delray Beach.
Oh, no way. I'm in West Palm. It's funny. I mean, I'm not going to complain about the market, but my wife.
Are you really?
Yeah, but our business is based in West Palm. But yeah, my wife and I have given up on trying to buy a home right now
Okay.
here because we just get outbid by New Yorkers who bid over the market price with cash. Like it's happened
Yeah.
4 times where I've bid at the amount and somebody come in from New York with pure cash and it's just like I give up. It's why I was
Yeah.
asking you if the market was gonna crash.
Yeah, let's talk about that and let me know what you're looking for because I have some lead generation systems that I could probably get you a pocket seller and maybe put you as the only potential buyer, depending on the type of property and the price point and everything.
Yeah, I would be very interested in that.
Look at that. That's good. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for helping John. Okay, so
course.
feedback, Jennifer, on the meeting. How did you feel about our meeting?
Oh, always great with you. And I think you definitely have amazing, brilliant people that are attracted to everything that you do. So, keep up the great work.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, and we lost George, but hopefully he's okay with our meeting.
He said that his Zoom connection just like quit. I don't know, it crashed.
Yeah, it just
like
okay. That's fine. So here's what I would like to ask for you guys to do. If you are willing to record a small testimonial of your experience with FireUp Connect, because I am looking for testimonial that I want to display in the website. If you guys are willing to do that, just send me the video, okay? I would really appreciate it. I know it's not a lot of meetings that you guys have attended, but just for the meetings that you have experienced, if you guys can provide that to me, because it will also give a lot of exposure to your business. I'm going to put your contact information and everything, and that will be a good thing to, it's an added exposure for your business, okay? So let me know if you could do that, and I appreciate your time. Again, our next meeting is going to be on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Even though we are a small group, I can tell you right now that we do get a lot out of the meetings, and I can see the collaboration, and that's really what we want. We want the best collaboration ever that you can find from being in a meeting, because even now you already saw that you can collaborate, that the three of you, in so many different ways, and thinking about extra stream of income. That's really the key here. It's creating ideas and opportunities that you guys can make more money. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much and have an amazing days. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marie.
All right. Bye-bye.
See everybody. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.